Welcome to Inside the Firm, a podcast dedicated to small business owners and hosted by entrepreneurs, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko. Each week, they take you on their journey of how to start, run, and grow a business by bringing you inside their architecture and real estate development firm. Get a behind-the-scenes tour of how these business leaders manage their clients and foster company culture while creating new and innovative projects. And now your hosts, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko.
Welcome to another edition of Inside the Firm. I'm here with our host, Lance Cayko. I'm Al React Score. We have a great show for you today. A lot of National Association of Home Builder news. We have an iceberg story, which seems to be cool. But before we get to that, let's pay the bills. And the way you can pay your own bills and make your own money and make more money is to go to RevitRocketShip.com, get yourself and your team on the Revit Rocket Ship, where yours truly trains you how to model like it gets built, gives you our template, our system, so things run smoothly. RevitRocketShip.com.
Accurate data is crucial, especially in today's business environment. Outdated and inaccurate data leads to turnarounds, delays, and rising costs. With supply chain and staffing issues, these costs and delays can multiply. That's why a resource like ARCAT.com is so important. ARCAT works with manufacturers to keep their data up to date and accurate and offers it to you easily, accessible, and free. Use ARCAT's powerful search engine to find what you need and download it right there on their website without needing to pay anything or even register. So try ARCAT.com today. That's ARCAT.com. What is that noise?
It's a car who thinks that the loudness of their car relates to the coolness of who they are. And it's a truck. There. I guess it was that truck.
It was a diesel. Okay, that's what I heard. Fair enough. Okay.
Dude, the weirdest scene just went on. Now look at Lance what's driving up. See that minivan with the hood up? What are we doing? Craziness.
Wow. All right. Big news this week. I gotta hit the loom here. My bad. Jeez. Let me get screen recording so the people on the YouTube can watch us and follow along to the wonderful articles. Our good friends over at the National Association of Home Builders are killing it this week because it's just it's just a good week. I don't know if you caught the news, but some big stuff happened. NAHB congratulates President-elect Trump, Cal Harris, chairman of the National Association of Home Builders, and a custom home builder from Wichita, Kansas, issued the following statement on Tuesday's national elections. The National Association of Home Builders congratulates President-elect Donald Trump, on his election as the 47th President of the United States and all the candidates who were elected to the 119th Congress. Throughout the campaign, voters consistently pointed to the lack of housing availability and affordability as a key issue in their voting decisions. Now is the time to take action to address the nation's housing shortage and let builders build. NAHB looks forward to working with the incoming Trump administration and leaders in Congress from both parties to enact a pro-housing legislative and regulatory agenda that increases the nation's housing supply and eases the nation's affordability woes. Look like you're going to say something there, Al.
I was. So we're in NAHB and AIA. I was talking to my architects group, which is an awesome group, and we were complaining about basically how the building department is making it more hard. Their systems are making it more hard. So a lot of times people would submit drawings, and this will relate back to this, sure, right? Affordable housing and all that, where you could just say, hey, review our plans, and a builder will be selected. And don't worry, before we can pull the plans, the builder will come, put in his stuff.
We're just going to put TBD. We don't know the builder. Got it. Yeah.
But what they're saying is that some of these systems aren't allowing you to move forward. Like, you literally can't submit because it's digitally online. You can't move forward until you have that. And one, yes, you could go get a builder. Two, the cities were actually saying, just put anything in there. It doesn't even matter. It's like, yeah, you say it doesn't matter, but then you hire a new person. And then all of a sudden the new person is like, why did you just make up a contractor? Just whatever. Anyways, one of our suggestions are, like, if you are not in the National Association of Home Builders, but you are in the AIA, but you could do this in the NAHB, like, you could just say, hey, AIA, I want to take my local city. I'll contact everyone that's in the AIA in my city and ask them if we want to be the official voice for this city, for the AIA, and talking to the city, right? Who's going to join your little committee? No one or two, and then literally report to the city council or the mayor or the manager and be like, as the AI representative, as the NAHB representative, this is not the way. You know, like official, our recommendations are you do not do it this way.
Yeah. Speaking,
like, so I mean, take it into your own hands, like affordability, like take responsibility and start at your own community.
Yeah. So I thought, you know, we are in both groups. We pay. F9 pays money into both NAHB and AIA. So I was just curious, like, let's see the AIA congratulating. And so I Googled it. AIA congratulates Trump.
Oh, cool.
And I went through. Oh, is it cool?
Well, so
is it cool?
No, go up. Read AIA. What does that say?
Aerospace. So here's the results. AIA, Aerospace Industries Association, congratulates President-elect Trump. The next one. Another more aerospace industry. There's some manufacturing drive. American Feed Industry. They congratulated President Trump. Bloomberg, PR Newswire, AIA, another Aerospace Industries Association. Associations congratulate Trump. And then finally we get to a 2016 The Architect's newspaper article. The AIA pledges to work with Donald Trump. Membership recoils. So I don't know. I'm just curious. I'm just curious why we're not all on the positive. Let's move forward, get some things done, train. I thought I've been hearing for a long time that we're all worried about this affordable housing crisis. We're all worried about building better buildings, left, right, upside down, inside out. Doesn't matter where you're at. We all want clean water and clean air and all the good stuff. And I'm just a little disappointed that I didn't see
clean food.
Everybody kind of moving in a positive direction.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I went to AIA.org, and it's the latest from AIA, and it's the AI award season is here. AI Disaster Assistance Program updates. America by Design. Yep.
Anyway, let's see what the election results though mean for housing. So this is again fresh off the press. NAHB was just on top of it right away. So I got another article up here, and here's what they think it means. And this is so meaningful for everybody in the building industry, right? Like we're all trying to build, and we've all had a lot of projects sort of stagnant, and we're looking for indications of how hopefully will move forward in 2025. Like we all want to do good stuff. The November elections clearly showed a fiercely partisan divide, with the presidential election decided when Donald Trump carried the key swing states of Georgia, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania. He secured the election early on the morning of November 6th by winning Wisconsin, another battleground state. And in a sign of another solid election night for the GOP, the Senate flipped to the Republicans with GOP pickups in Montana, Ohio, and West Virginia. NAHB voters mobilization effort in Montana helped secure the win for the Republican challenger, Tim Sheehy, a pro-housing advocate. Way to go. Meanwhile, the battle for the House majority is going down to the wire, with races still to be called. And as of this recording, like on November 8th, they still haven't called the House. Republicans are leading. Further down, for the past year, NAHB has laid the groundwork to make housing a top priority in local, state, and national levels. Last spring, we unveiled a 10-point housing plan. We went over that, addressing the root causes of the problem, such as excessive regulations, inefficient local zoning rules, and permitting roadblocks that prevent builders from increasing the nation's housing supply. The plan was distributed to congressional offices, and many state and local HBAs shared it with their elected officials. During this election season, NAHB testified several times on Capitol Hill, and we maintain a presence at the Democratic and Republican national conventions. Look at that. They're just trying to push everybody in the good direction. NAHB also endorsed nearly 100 pro-housing Democratic and Republican candidates for Congress. I love that. Like, we're not doing the one-sided. We're just trying to solve the problems.
Housing's for everyone.
It is. And more than 90% of them won their races on November 5th. Bravo. These actions helped elevate housing to the forefront of the political agenda. President-elect Donald Trump said government regulations are responsible for more than 25% of a new single-family home and 40% of the cost of multifamily. We're going to end all of that. And Vice President Kamala Harris also kept housing at the forefront of her campaign, pledging to work with home builders to construct an additional 3 million housing units. With dozens of House seats still to be called and a handful of key Senate races still in the balance, housing remains a bipartisan issue, regardless of which parties control the levers of power on Capitol Hill. And as the dust settles from this election, NAHB and our federation stand poised to work with the new Congress and the incoming Trump administration as well as elected officials. Good stuff. Some other good news that's happening, and we've seen it in our construction firm. Residential building wages grow at an unprecedented rate. Have you seen this chart now? Look at that. Look how much they've grown from 2023, like one of the few industries where they're just pushing it up, right? So
building workers, yeah. Okay.
The gist of it is from the article, wages for residential building workers grew at a fast pace of 9.9% in September, following a robust gain of 10.8%. These year-over-year growth rates in the past 4 months were unprecedented in the history of the data series from 1990. After a 0.3 increase in June 23, the year-over-year rate for residential building workers has been trending higher the past year. And they blame it on just the labor shortage.
Yep.
Mainly. So.
Yep. And honestly, too, that's why they're never going to fit. They don't want to fix immigration because they actually, both sides, even the right, want cheap illegal immigration to keep down wages. What's weird is that it's kind of manipulative, is like, if you would increase legal immigration and also allow just not the tech people to come, but laborers to come and then vet them properly, like, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. But that's good news. So let's say, I mean, people are looking for jobs. I would just encourage people to consider going into a trade. Gosh, because you could still be a white collar person and have the trade under your belt forever. Like, these skills just never go away. They're never not useful. We're still, even though we're trying to build all the new prefabricated stuff, like, we're still building with sticks. We're still building with bricks. Mm-hmm. It's going to be that way for a while, you know. Even with the exotic stuff, like, there's still translation that can happen, you know, moving into, like, you still got to run the electricity. Still got to run the gas, all the other good stuff.
Yep.
I'm going to turn this one over to Al, since he's our Fed cut rates guy.
Cool.
Yeah.
So the Fed cut rates by 25 basis points, which means 0.25%. In November, reducing the top target rate to 4.75. However, while the Fed noted it is making progress towards its 2% inflation target, it did not provide post-election guidance on the pace and ultimate path for the future interest rates cuts. So one of the reasons why they said that they lowered it to 2%, even though GDP numbers are strong and all that, is because they have the dual mandate of not only of keeping the money supply, but also unemployment. And some people pointed out that unemployment isn't even that high. I think the Fed is actually ahead of the curve on this, because if you look at the swing, unemployment skyrocketed during COVID. It came down, and now it's back on the upswing. So, you know what's so funny? It's not news if the Fed does their job.
It's true.
Meaning, like, if they wouldn't have gaslight us and said, I have to bring this up because right now they didn't lower interest rates for so long because inflation was stickier. Yeah. That's the word they use.
Oh, stickier. Okay.
But before that, they literally said, what was it? It's transient, or it's...
Yes, transient.
Yeah, it's transient. So, I mean, that gaslighting...
That it was just like in other words, it was sort of like a flash flood, and then it was going to be gone. But there wouldn't be damage. You know, they didn't mention the damage, which part of it. It's like, what is the damage?
Yeah.
Housing prices went through the roof. I mean, that's one example, right? Like, there's some things that will never go back down. Well, that have a very low likelihood of going back down.
And I don't think we've examined, and people don't like to relitigate the past, and I understand why. But, like, the question becomes to, that statement. Were you literally incompetent, or were you blinded because you didn't want to admit that for political reasons? Like, which you got to tell me which one.
Yeah,
you got to tell me which one.
Let's pick a side of the fence.
Right. But going back to this, I do think it was a couple weeks ago, maybe even a month ago now, when they lowered it for the first time. I'm like, this is they're actually doing it at the perfect time, because there was that unemployment chart and it was starting to go back up, and then the interest rates were starting to go back down. And if they are correct and unemployment doesn't, skyrocket, there's going to be no news about it. You know what I mean? Like maybe the news will be like, oh, they did do a soft landing and stuff like that. Yeah. We like discussion. Will they do another quarter point by the end of the year? Probably not. Will they maybe do it in right after the year? Hopefully. And then hopefully, 2 more before May would be great.
Yeah.
2 more before
I'm
May.
Cool with like something maybe in February after inauguration, and then 1 more before the spring season really kicks off for real estate. I'm just pumped. I'm really excited about the economy and where we're headed. Like I think 1.3 trillion or something got dumped into the stock market after the news of the election. There's just all kinds of good news coming out. Like there's no. We're not doing black pills this winter. We're only doing white pills. Okay,
Nice.
White pill winter. That's what we're calling it. 100%. Get optimistic. Get primed. Go to RevitRocketShip.com. Go to ArchitectsGuide2.com. You need to share all the Inside the Firm episodes with your friends and family. We are going. We're going to Mars. Hey,
we're going to Mars.
Frankly, we're going to Mars. Yeah.
Hey, it's kind of funny. There was a time, and
is this truck out here again? Keep going.
Okay, go take a look. Is it red?
No, now it's like a Hellcat or something. What are we doing today?
I don't know.
Jeez.
There was a time, and I can't frame if it was during the Trump administration or Biden, but I mean, you probably heard me talk about it because probably I was annoying about it. There was so much news on like what Tesla was doing, what SpaceX was doing, that it was almost like a daily thing. Like they blew up another rocket. They're coming out with a new car, all that. Mm-hmm. I almost expect that this summer to happen, to go like they're going to try shooting off their rocket like now once a month rather than once a 4 months because of government regulations and all that. Like could get awesome.
Yeah.
Could get awesome.
Yeah. Fourth turning is here. Speaking of turning, okay, I've got a graphic up that I've been working on.
Yep.
Because I've been thinking about maybe actually even bringing this into my sales meetings. And I know a lot of other architects and designers struggle with this. And what it is I've got it pulled up on the screen. I tweaked the whole thing. The original one was like about making a coding or something, or a piece of software or something like that. So one of the problems you probably have if you're an architect is that like you're the first person with a client that is you're giving them sticker shock. Like you're the first person to show them numbers. What are your fees? What are all the engineers' fees? All that stuff. And they often have trouble seeing the value in those fees because they haven't seen anything yet, right? Or maybe they have worked with an architect before, or they have ideas of what drawings look like, and they're like, they see the finished product and they go like, it looked like it took an hour. It looked like it took an hour. I don't understand how your fees could be so much. You just draw just lines on paper, right? Now that's what they see at the top of the iceberg, and then what they don't see is I've got up here is like countless hours of research, right? How many hours of research have you done on a particular project, or even just all the way back to academia and just like staring at floor plans, like just looking every day at floor plans and understanding how they work. They don't see the 12 different iterations maybe on that first design pass you're doing in your studio. They don't see the 5 to 7 years of school you had to do. They don't see maybe the 3 internal design meetings you had with your staff on those 12 different iterations. They don't see the 3 to 5 years of apprenticeship you have to do under a licensed architect. They don't see the 5 tests for licensure, and they don't see the 10,000 hours in previous design studios, academic and professional, that hopefully led you to be able to produce a beautiful, almost nearly flawless floor plan, and you show it to them, and they knock their socks off, and they go, and they just, I'm sorry I made it look too easy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
What other ones would you add?
So I would add or replace the 10,000 hours with these two. On the left-hand side, 100 plus building designs. Like
Nice.
And then on the right, 1,000 hours dealing with government agencies, city regulations. Like,
Yeah.
all of that is in the backbone. And at first, I didn't get the 12 iterations and 3 design meetings.
Oh, good.
Until I saw like the overall concept of this is what went into that one clean sheet of paper drawing, whatever that you see.
Yeah.
what goes into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
This is almost what's our best marketing friend?
Tyler Suomala.
Yeah. Yeah. This is almost Tyler Sulamala level. He would do it in a different format, but yeah.
Right, and so I posted this on LinkedIn, asking what other people say would add to this. My post. So if you're a LinkedIn person, if you're on there, you're following us, go over there and give us your opinion. I would love it because I want to actually make a perfect graphic for all this. I'm seriously considering like using it in design meetings, like just having it on my phone, even or not design meetings, sorry, sales meetings, just having it on my phone and be able to pull it up and say like, hey, I get that. But I made a graphic like thinking about this. I've been thinking about this for a long time, pitch them and whatever. So I posted it and said, asked for people's opinions on it. A couple people already chimed in. Code compliance. I'd show them a stack of the IBC, IRC, ADA, ANSI, and local zoning and building standards to get them to understand how complex our solutions really are. Well, how simple how simple our solutions really are in the matrix of complexity. That's I think the issue is like they look at a beautiful clean floor plan, a beautiful clean rendering of a house or whatever building, and it's like, the behind the scenes of it all, is where it's all at. Stefan Koyina was the one chiming in on this, and he says, hopefully the client will recognize the time and effort involved, and we're doing more than just drawing party pictures. That's the whole point, of the graphic. What else
I got one more to add and then a concept to add. I don't know if I like this idea. I have a bunch of ideas. Some of them stick, some of them don't. But you could add soul-crushing critiques from peers.
I thought of that. It was in the I thought about adding it to the 10,000 hours in design. It's true.
Yeah, well, and the reason once I wrote that down,
soul-crushing critiques of your from your peers. Yeah.
Yep, is then to like emotionalize this, and it might be too much, right? It might be over the top, but like countless is good. Endless hours of research, 5 to 7 sleepless years in school.
Nice.
3 to 5 brutal years of, you know what I mean? Like you could just, yeah.
You really get it to play out.
Yeah.
And target their heart.
That would almost be a save as, and then you could show people like, is this over the top or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, go to my LinkedIn. If you haven't linked in with me yet, I will link in with you. Give us your comments. I want to hear that. And that's all I got for today. Pretty short and sweet. Al, what do you got?
Then I got, okay, there should almost be a next slide because that's great. They're like, oh, they now understand, but they're like, yeah, that's all you. That's all you. What does it do for me? Mm-hmm. And then the next slide is, they have that pretty picture, but here's the value. Our designs like are going to meet code. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, then you're just saying like that one. Yeah.
So now flip it over to their perspective. Like it's designed so it's easy to construct.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like whatever 3 to 5
this
of
is
those.
Genius. Look at this good idea. Look at this good idea.
Flop.
He's got it. Yeah. All right. If you're watching on YouTube, you like this episode, leave us a positive comment. iTunes 5-star review, SoundCloud 5-star review. Send us your gifts. Send us your emails. Send us your memes. We'll see you next week.